Hey, you're already here. Guess you must have missed me. Take my shoes off really quick. I'm gonna be quick this time. Super exciting time to be alive. That's right. Today, I'm gonna be watching the final episode of Wonder Man. And I know I'm a little late, I get it, but I just introduced video games to my son this Christmas, and I'm convinced that if I actually touch the controller, he'll resort to murder. But I'm probably just projecting. Isn't it crazy how Wonder Man has all these unmeasurable abilities and all he wants to do is spend his time waiting around the movie set all day? I mean, as neurotic and annoying as he may be, it sure doesn't seem like the life of a working actor is really reciprocating the passion he seems to give it. Yeah, all that effort is great, but can you dim that light down a bit for legal reasons? Hmm. Picture a world where Hollywood bans Black people because your very existence fills the meaning, yet provide gifts that could literally light up the sky. I mean, superpowered people. Sometimes that's not just a show, my friend. Sometimes that's how it feels. If for any other reason, does giving those insecure feelings space at least begin to deal with the core of the issue? And what about everyone that's afraid if they perform with one, they'll get sucked into a dark black abyss? Should we make a law based on that fear? Are all laws based on preventing what the majority fears most? Hmm. Are all our core boundaries made up of what we fear most? Hmm. All of a sudden, I really want to get really high. I mean, that's probably why people like Doorman drink so much, right? Escaping those feelings, it's like a cozy blanket grandma made when you were 5. Or she said she made it, but she bought it at Walmart. Granny works smart in her old age, not hard. But that's also why people like Simon are to be seen with the utmost admiration. Because, in my opinion, Simon is choosing to do the work, imperfectly, yet bold and bravely. Is bravely a word? There's no red line under it. I'll keep it. Simon is auditioning for a role while searching for his own soul. Finding yourself while hiding yourself. Now that's something that shouldn't take superhuman powers to be able to accomplish, but it sure feels like it. Lucky for us, the terrain is more familiar than we realize, because as Herman Melville said, life's a voyage, that's a homeward bound journey. So let's ease on down the road through Marvel's introduction of Wonder Man. Ah, the Wiz callback nailed it.
Ta-da! Woo! Come on, Dorothy! Come on!
Simon Williams is a struggling Hollywood actor who got exactly what he prayed for, plus a gag order served by the entire multiverse. We all know lots of people that moved to LA from basements and now thriving ex-fiancés' houses across the globe. We all love the spirit of a dreamer, at least until a mortgage is due, or only on the nearest device's screen for minutes at a time, for free. In Wonder Man, Simon Williams is an actor who secretly has powers, trying to make it in a business in Hollywood that blackballs people like him on sight.
I'm gonna need you to sign this to confirm you don't have superpowers.
That's not just a plot. That's a parable, like the Bible. The MCU gives it a name, the Doorman Clause. And we'll get into that episode a bit later. But now, superpower individuals cannot work in Hollywood because one nick with powers messed up everything. Hey, you can't bleep that out. That's racist. I'm Black. You can't bleep something out that you actually are. Retards. I feel judged. One dude made a mess, so now the whole system says, people like you, never again. Sound familiar? One bad breakup and every man is a narcissist, and now you don't date Nigerians. One church that abused power, and now you side-eyeing anything spiritual and get high before the one time a year you go to church with Auntie every Easter. Your own constant financial mismanagement or any professional setback, and now you pretend you don't even want success. Struck a chord, huh? You tell yourself, I'm happy endlessly posting free content on the internet after I work a 10-hour shift where several German 30-year-old couples cuss at me in their language because of our beverage machine that only makes lukewarm coffee. Simon meets Trevor Slattery, this washed-up, chaotic actor you remember as the fake Mandarin, played by the brilliant Ben Kingsley. I love the meta humor of using his real-life movies as film memorabilia throughout his home. Trevor is like that messy uncle who's both your cautionary tale and your guardian angel. I love the raw performer spirit he gets to develop throughout this show. The paradox of whimsical, self-centered, naive, egotistical immaturity balanced with observational, empathetical, and wise commentary. Together, they're trying to book a remake of a superhero movie called Wonder Man, while Simon is secretly processing whether or not he indeed is already the real Wonder Man. He's literally hiding his true self so he can play a fake version of his true self for a check. Hollywood calls that a career. Therapists may call that disassociation. But most of us in Western society call that Monday through Friday. Include weekends if you're in the service biz. A perfectly justified juxtaposition in a story that is hardly about superpowers at all. I feel those in the know would say, hashtag working actor's life is well surveyed. The family dynamics when he takes Trevor to his mother's birthday party feel so real and reveal a lot of his character. Just like taking your new girlfriend to a family function for the first time, or in my case, the last date. Hi, Uncle RJ. He especially hates interracial coupling. He calls our children mixed breeds, which is genetically accurate yet douchey at the same time. As nefarious as Trevor's true intentions really are, the moment they share together still means so much to the big yet skittish heart of Simon. Simon has a setup with his mother that's probably more popular than we like to admit. You would think that a heart like Simon would love to shower his mother with wealth and stability, especially at his age. But he just lost a nice, paying, consistent job, and he also isn't the 1% of famous actors that aren't waiting for their big break working as a CGI monster for a phone service commercial. Simon needs his mother's financial help at times. Still, grown as I'm surprised he just became single. And his brother's judgy tone does not let him forget it. Doorman's episode has become an instant classic. It kind of reminds me of the Black Wall Street massacre shown in the Watchmen series. It was so interesting to me how it became this whole little big deal on the internet about whether or not it happened in real life. Echo chambers are real, my friend. And ignorance is bliss, ain't it, Charlie? The Doorman's Clause is named after a regular guy who accidentally absorbed celebrity Josh Gad and became his human portal disaster. One freak accident and the industry restructured itself to protect the system, not the people. They didn't say, how do we prepare for powered people? They said, how do we keep them offset? Thoughtful. Simon wants to become a successful actor. Doorman just wanted to be a doorman. Unlike so many that live in Hollywood, he truly is happy where his feet are, being of service to those around him, until Hollywood sees his new interdimensional transporting powers that save the entire nightclub. He begins to indulge in a lot of the classic Hollywood vices and traps, and I think it's because he's afraid to look inside of that dark abyss that's widening in his chest. The figurative, emotional, traumatic one, all right? Not the superpowers, all right? Keep up. I'm curious to see what will happen. I'm sure we could guess the Mystique and Days of Future Past, Tuskegee Airmen experiment kind of vibes. As liberal as a stance as I'd like to take, I don't really know if there's a real safe way to have superhuman powers in Hollywood, professional sports, in the school, or in work, honestly. Simon's powers don't come with a user manual either. They come with debt, danger, and drug dealers in the alley who accidentally find out he's more than he pretends to be. He has to use his powers to protect Trevor, then chase down some kid with a GoPro who caught everything on the camera. And that, boys and girls, is because of our word of the day.
Shame, shame!
Know your name.
That's right. This is adult humor. Please don't let your kids watch this, by the way. Do something powerful, or spend every agonizing moment of your life draining that very same power into shrinking, numbing, and escaping from that feeling of isolationism. That's right. You touched my mushy spot. So now I curse you to the 7th circle of hell. Or in Simon's case, immediately sprint after the footage, which I think is a bit more reasonable for the record. Simon has to secure his dream job, so Simon has to make sure nobody knows what he's truly capable of. If you grew up like me, a curious first gen out of poverty, attention-sucking boy who wore his Spider-Man pajamas to school and sprayed his teacher with silly string because he told you to stop practicing your telekinetic powers in the middle of his lesson, that "you better not embarrass us" parenting style is all too familiar, and honestly very necessary in my case. It's genetic. My son Black Panther clawed a little Dutch boy once, but we worked on it. Don't be too loud. Don't be too soft. Don't be too talented. Don't be too broken. And don't talk about it or assault anyone. Just be malleable, palatable, and quiet until spoken to. Simon Williams isn't just scared of losing his dreams, he's scared of being seen. Bars. Because once people see what you can really do, they have opinions, expectations, and contracts. And sweetheart, expectations are just handcuffs with better branding. So just like I told my 11th grade first period teacher, as I pressed the lever on my web cartridge, with great power comes great responsibility. That's a Spider-Man quote, or Uncle Ben. Actually, it technically wasn't said in story. It was a Stan Lee insert, and they just ran with it. All the nerds know that one. And yes, that's right. I dressed up in Spider-Man pajamas in high school. Some may say a bit too old, but if it helps any, I dressed up as Spider-Man like 2 months ago. But that's only because my telekinetic powers still haven't kicked in. Camera moved a little bit. My mind. So Simon, the insecure actor, Wonder Man, the walking miracle, finding himself via him and Trevor's antics, yet hiding himself on the call sheet. Now, if you've ever been called the strong friend, the quiet creator, the dad who always is fine, you know the clause in your bones. Somebody in your past wrote it for you. We love you as long as you don't talk about your fears. We support you as long as your success doesn't surpass us. You can stay as long as you don't bring that part of you that I'm super afraid of. Put it in a song or a movie that you better not make me pay to listen to. And no, you do not have superpowers. And you are not an alien. I still don't believe them, and you shouldn't either. But Simon starts bending. He wants the role, the approval, the shot at legitimacy. So he hides the parts of himself that are too much and calls it professionalism. And maybe it is. But here's the twist. Hollywood ain't home, homie. It's a stage, a rented set, a beautifully lit, emotionally unsafe workspace. Maybe all workspaces are. Home is the place where your power isn't illegal, where your brilliance isn't a liability, where your softness doesn't need a non-disclosure agreement. But Mr. Hill doesn't know that yet. He thinks home and who he really is the role he hasn't booked, the premiere he hasn't walked, the validation he hasn't earned. I said Simon, right? I said Simon doesn't know that, right? So he keeps walking towards the now, opening studio gates while life keeps dragging him back towards himself. But which is truly moving him forward? By the time Simon steps into being the Hollywood Wonder Man, he realizes something dangerous. Yeah, there's no version of his life where he gets to be fully himself and completely safe. Yikes, that's the real superhero origin story. Actually, I lied. That's the human story. Each and every one of us at some point in time. I think the show pushes him into this impossible choice with Trevor. And guilty, I'm a bit impatient, so I know from clicking on YouTube spoilers, Trevor, struck with guilt, takes the fall for Simon's explosive outburst, revives his fake Mandarin persona, stands in front of the world and says, "Blame me. I'm the villain you already understand." Per usual, this works out great for the government. Perfect. We need more prisoners anyways. Systems love a familiar scapegoat more than an uncomfortable truth. But that's the moment in Trevor's homeward bound journey where he's back around those familiar prison bars, yet personally clarified and accountable. Integrity over industry. A messy, dangerous, real connection over a polished, lonely, self-created fiction. Life is a homeward bound journey because every big decision is basically the same question. Are you going to abandon yourself or are you going to go back and get you? Back to the kid who loved movies before metrics. Back to the man who wanted family more than followers. Back to the version of you that still believed you were allowed to exist in full color. If they really knew me, would they still want me? Simon spends the season doing what a lot of us do, hiding his power to keep his job, shrinking his story to fit the right genre, calling survival humility when it's actually fear. But the journey always bends him back home, not to an address, to an alignment. Home is when your gifts and your grind are telling the same truth. The people sitting at your table know both your resume and your rap sheet and still pass you the mac and cheese. Is that a thing? Let's make it a thing, all right? So if you're watching Wonder Man wondering why it hurts a little, why you feel called out and called home at the same time, are you overdue to break somebody out of prison? That somebody might be you. Maybe your doorman clause needs to expire. Maybe you've been banned from your own life set long enough. Finding yourself while hiding yourself is exhausting. Finding yourself while coming home, well, that's a series worth renewing. And just maybe we can fly in the sky with Simon and Trevor. Not just escaping prison, but flying back towards ourselves. Towards a life where our power isn't just a stunt, it's a promise. It's a nice warm bowl of mac and cheese with a fresh roll on the side. It's totally a thing now. Maybe I'll hop back on the couch and let you know what I'm thinking about it.
Papa.
He's Dutch. Oh yes, son, how can I help you? Papa is here.
Talking.
Oh, well, I was gonna sing your jingle, but, well, all you parents get it. But maybe we can just play it a little bit lower, then I'll just whisper. Because I'm super glad you like listening to me. And I hope that you grow or you make a movie. Hope you had a nice laugh.
Told ya.
You learned to recline Mr. Hill's house frame of mine. Wow. Get off of that. You better not.
I'm playing video games. I'm really fast.